South East Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
South East Radio.
Well, as house prices continue to rise, so do the professional fees associated with property transactions. And my next guest has developed a professional fees broker business aimed at lowering these costs. Jason Clancy from ezfees.ie joins us now to tell us more. Jason, before we discuss ezfees.ie, I'd like to get an insight into your own background.
Yes, I studied more for Institute of Technology at the time back in 1989 to 1992, Chartered Secretary Administration. And I had left there, then went to Deloitte. I trained in Deloitte for 4 years in the National Company Secretarial and Legal Department. And then I set up Corporate Access Legal Services Group. Last year then I sold Corporate Access then to a UK equity company. And this is my new venture.
Talk to us about the Corporate Access Legal Services Group, how you grew that business and how you eventually got to sell it.
Yes, I suppose it was 20. I was 23 at the time when I set it up. And look, I mean, it was a hard slog. I mean, we engaged in the conveyancing sector and provided company reports and conveyancing searches to the legal sector. And I just grew the business. By the time I sold it, it was among the largest in the country. And so it was sold to a UK equity firm last December.
And it was from that business that you identified an opportunity for ezfees.ie to be established.
That's right, Carl. I mean, I suppose I would have had a bird's eye view from that business of the whole property, the property market and fees and so forth. And we identified, I suppose, a gap in the market whereby, people, I suppose, certainly first-time buyers as well. It's very new to them, like going to buy a property and so forth, and where they have to go, what fees they need to pay, and so forth. So, identified also in the market that there's significant room for creating savings for customers.
So provide us with an insight into the service today.
Yeah, so basically what we've done is we've a panel of estate agents throughout the country. We have a panel of solicitor firms throughout the country. Now, we broker legal fees and estate agency fees with those, so we've brokered these fees right down. And so we're creating a saving, for the first-time buyer or as for the person who is selling their property and purchasing a new property. We've got the reduced fees with solicitors in return, obviously, for giving them volume. So I suppose if you think about it, like if Jason Clancy went into an estate agent in the morning with, I want to sell my property, you're going to be charged from the standard 1.5%, whatever, the standard fees. Same with the solicitor firm. But like if a property developer went into a solicitor or an estate agent and said, look, we have 20 or 30 properties a month, we want you to sell. Like they're going to get a deal. They're going to get a reduced fee. So I took that, that model. And it's the customers now, who can now come to ezfees and they're part of, I suppose, the buying power that ezfees have now with solicitor firms and estate agents throughout the country.
And Jason, from the research that you did into both auctioneers' fees and the legal fees for conveyancing, what type of variation was out there in that particular space?
There wasn't too much variation, to be honest, in the estate agency fees. It was sort of standard 1.5% commissions, across the board or whatever, with the exception maybe of some here and there, but it was mainly 1.5% commission. Variances did occur, all right, in the legal fees. We had carried out a survey. I think it was over 400 firms during the summer, and the legal fees, it was based on a €297,000 property, and the legal fees ranged from 2,970 down to I think 1,300 or 1,400. So there's a huge variance in legal fees or whatever, and that. It averaged out at €1,710 plus VAT. That's what it averaged out at. So some firms obviously charge a lot more than others, and they're entitled to do that or whatever. But at ezfees.ie, what we do is we make sure that we get fees right down for our clients.
And Jason, will people who are remortgaging or switching their mortgage be able to benefit from the service as well?
They do, very much so. We can save remortgages, I think, just over €500 including VAT on their fees. So remortgaging, yeah, absolutely. We make significant savings for the remortgager as well.
And what revenue model is underpinning the ezfees business?
The revenue model, from our point of view, we charge a brokerage fee of a small brokerage fee of €60 plus VAT. So clients need to come onto our website. They register with ourselves. There's a calculator on the website which shows them what savings that they can make. Once they register, then there's an account manager appointed to them, and that account manager stays with them throughout the whole property journey from start to finish. Our fees come from the registration fees from clients.
There's a new offering in the market. How are you hoping to acquire customers over the next 12 months?
Well, first of all, I think word of mouth is very important. Satisfied customers, I'd like to think that we will be spoken highly of, not just as a firm that saves people significant money on their property transactions, but also that has excellent customer care. We'll be advertising as well. We'll be looking at advertising actually on television later in the year. At the moment, we're on a lot of the radio stations, newspapers and so forth, and social media driving it as well. So there's a team in the background as well, a marketing team that are actually pushing it, pushing ezfees all the time as well. So I suppose it's a combination really of everything.
And are there any other companies in this space currently in the Irish market?
There's not, no. We're the only professional fees brokers.
If you look to the international market, is there many players in the space?
There's not, no, I suppose not our model. I think there's probably some similar kind of models. But specifically what we're doing, no, there's not. Now we are looking later this year, moving abroad as well. And we have plans in the pipeline for that. So.
And what are those plans?
Well, I think the Caribbean is one of them. We're looking at maybe launching it out in the Caribbean, maybe next year, the end of this year, maybe next year. Canada is another option as well. I mean, I think it's really any country that has, huge differentials in their fees. In Canada, for example, it's very, I think the solicitors charge about 6% commission. Estate agents charge the same. It's horrifically high costs out there, so I mean there's always a gap in the market to go in there and drag fees down for customers,
And what about the UK market? Is there any opportunity there?
There is, absolutely, and Northern Ireland as well. There is very, very much so a big opportunity over there as well. So that's something. Once we get ourselves up and running here, that's our next plan, is to develop our services outside of Ireland.
As you say, from an auctioneering perspective, the rates are quite similar across the board. But when it came to solicitors, did you meet much resistance when you approached them with this particular model?
Yeah, I mean, look, some solicitors said absolutely not, and others said, look, we'd be delighted to be on the panel. So. We vetted all the solicitor firms. We vetted all the estate agents as well. We've had some calls as well and inquiries from estate agents since we've launched, and the solicitor firms asking can they go on the panel. But our panel is full at the moment. And like all the solicitors and estate agents that are on it are very experienced specialists in property transactions, So very happy with the panel we have. But look, there's always going to be a number of firms, I suppose, that are not happy with what we've done or whatever. But look, that's business. There's nothing we can do about that.
And how many firms have you got on your panels?
So at the moment we have, I think there's 74 solicitor firms, and I think there's about 68 estate agents throughout the country.
And we are hearing a lot of talk about the blockchain technology that could be used in future for property transactions from a legal perspective.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, and how it could have any implications on your own business?
Well, first of all, I think it's important that that we move with the times. And certainly with COVID over the last 2 years, I mean, it shows that technology now needs to be brought into every aspect of I think the field of the legal sector and other sectors as well. Will it affect us? To be honest with you, I don't think. As long as we keep saving our clients as much money as we possibly can on their property transactions, I think we'll always be okay.
So what are your goals then for the business, Jason, over the next 3 years?
Well, we have a very large office space here in Waterford. We have offices in Leitrim as well. I think it's probably just to develop here as much as we possibly can, develop the client base, and hopefully just, that the business will snowball, that people will see the value that we can save them in their property transactions, and we just grow bigger and bigger.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Jason Clancy from ezfees.ie, and I'd like to wish Jason every success with growing his business.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Carl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast.